What's going on, Yarmouth? I'm Scott, and welcome to the first Friday 5 of 2025. That seems weird to say, but 2025, that's amazing. If you're new here, the Friday 5 is a weekly installment of 5 things that you ought to know more about that's happening in Yarmouth. We take it as an opportunity to talk about policies, new programs, council decisions, and then we also use it as an opportunity to highlight small businesses, community groups, and area nonprofits that are doing unbelievable work here in Yarmouth. So with that, we've got an excellent roundup for you today. We'll get right into it. We're getting things started this week at Royal River Park and back in front of the Royal River, which means we probably have a Royal River update. And it's a big one because last night during the town council special meeting, we hit a pretty significant milestone in the community's efforts to revitalize this wonderful resource that we have. Town council voted to endorse a resolution that would sort of continue our efforts to look at opportunities to rewild the Royal River, which includes 3 different pieces. First, the full dam removal at Bridge Street. The second piece is some adaptive management behind me at Middle Falls, which includes some rock chipping and some more sort of iterative efforts there to look at minor impacts to the overall river. And then a partial dam removal at the East Elm Street Dam. Now that with a little bit of a caveat, there's still an interest from the council and from the community to continue to have water flowing around Gooch Island. So we're continuing to look at opportunities to either fully remove the left descending bank or to look at some other engineering opportunities to continue to have water flow around the island. So again, this has been a result of a significant amount of community outreach, almost 2 decades worth of community conversation on what to do next. And so it's a really, like I said, a really significant milestone. There's more to do here, and again, this is going to take some money, and the council is committed to pursuing these improvements here without impacting taxes. So that includes foundation work, private fundraising, and some other bootstrapping that might be needed in the upcoming years. But really excited to finally sort of close this chapter and open a new one, sort of the future of the Royal River. Number 2. In 2024, the Town Council endorsed a recommendation from our Affordable Housing Committee to set affordable housing development goals here in Yarmouth. And it's a pretty ambitious goal, 431 units in the next 10 years. And so in order to start working towards that goal, the town's looked at town-owned property that could be leveraged for affordable housing development. And we've got our first pretty exciting project due here in the next few weeks, hopefully, or the next few months, I should say.
That's right.
So we've identified a small portion of our back parking lot behind the town office to sort of look at what we might have for affordable housing units there. And so with the town council blessing, staff circulated a request for qualifications from development teams to identify potential good uses for that spare surface lot that we've got behind the town office. And we had 2 really wonderful submissions, one of which being from 36 Cleve Street, which was a successful project. And Brad Moll here, everybody knows Brad, but Brad's a partner of that development team, and he's going to tell you a little bit more about what they've got planned and sort of the timetable that we've got in the next few weeks.
Yeah, hi everybody. So what we've got planned up there on this site is 2 buildings, and those buildings will contain a total of 18 one-bedroom apartments. These units will be affordable units under affordable housing rules at 80% median income. And they're really nice wood frame structures that will fit in with the Cleve Street neighborhood and really the whole Main Street downtown Yarmouth aesthetic and what is here. They're wood frame, clapboard siding, and we have lots of information that can be shared with you about that. We have some upcoming informational meetings. I'm just going to look at some dates here real quick. We've got January 9th at 5:30. It's going to be right here at Brickyard Hollow. There'll be an informational meeting. There'll be another one January 14th at 6 p.m. at the library. And then the planning board meeting is on January 22nd. So there'll be a lot of information shared at those meetings, so we encourage everybody, if they have questions, comments, concerns, come to these meetings and get informed ahead of time so that we can help you understand the project and what we're proposing to do. But it's really exciting. We're going to be working with Maine State Housing with an application process for funding for this project, and I think this is a really exciting and great opportunity for Yarmouth to provide some more diverse housing options.
That's great. So for more information, we'll have a contact address and email below so you can reach out, or we encourage you, like Brad said, to come to the in-person meetings the next couple of weeks and learn more about it. Number 3, if you couldn't tell already, we're here at the Yarmouth Public Safety Building, and with the new year means one thing: it's almost budget season. Well, it kind of already is budget season. So last year we got a lot of questions about learning more about the process, how folks can get involved and learn more about our budgeting process. And so this is sort of meant to be a bit of a primer. It's going to be more and more information as the next 4 months roll in. But in general, I kind of want to give you a quick timeline of what you can expect. So right now we're in the sort of the heart of our departmental budget process. So I'm working with each of our department leads to develop their own organizational needs and budget priorities for the fiscal year 26 year. With that, sort of organize it and pull together sort of an initial proposal that I'll then present to the town council in late February. At that point, it'll be sort of the first public sort of review of what we're sort of proposing for FY26. But March is really sort of the meat of where folks can get involved and really take part in the public process. There'll be a series of budget meetings that'll be scheduled outside of the council's normal operations and workshop and voting meeting schedule to sort of dig into each of those departments and come to a point where the final budget would be proposed to the full town for review and approval at town meeting in June. So again, over the next 4 months, there's going to be a lot more information that's going to be shared. We'll make sure that we have a project page sort of dedicated on the town's website so you kind of learn about what our funding priorities are for FY26, so longer term investment strategies and changes that may impact programs and services that you've come to enjoy. So anyways, with that, we're going to go to the next spot, and we'll talk to you more about this soon. Number 4, with it being the first of the month, taking this as a quick opportunity to remind you of our monthly e-newsletters that we share to folks who subscribe. We've had a groundswell of support over the last few weeks, which I hope are probably sort of a result of these ongoing conversations through our Friday 5 videos. But again, if you haven't signed up and you're interested in doing that, take a look. I'm going to show you how you can do that. You go onto the Town of Yarmouth website on our homepage underneath online services. We talked a little bit about that in an earlier edition on some of the transactions, some of the things that you can do online from the comfort of your own home. But under online services, if you go to Town Newsletter, here you can include, sort of upload all of your information here, your email address and who it's going to be sent to, and that automatically gets sent to you on a monthly basis. Like I said, the next editions, January's edition, should be coming out early next week. If you're interested in taking a look at previous editions, we've got a drop down for the last 5 years. And through here, you could take a look at all of the ongoing information that we share. It's a really wonderful resource for folks who are interested in this type of conversation and things that we might talk about during the Friday Fives, where we're going a little bit more detail, provide some additional links. And so, again, it's great stuff. If you haven't signed up yet, make sure you do that. We're wrapping things up this week at Fells Grove Farm Preserve, which is one of my personal favorite places to stretch my legs and to breathe in some beautiful Yarmouth air. But it reminds me of a new policy I want to let you in on. Starting January 1st of 2025, the town office here in Yarmouth will be a fragrance-free workplace. For the last several months, we've gotten a lot of feedback from community members and employees alike who have sensitivity to fragrances, and we want to make sure that we're sort of responsive to that. So again, if you wear heavy cologne or perfume or scented, hand sanitizers or lotions, just be cognizant of your neighbors and the folks who are serving you at the Yarmouth Town office. We can't wait to see you in 2025, but we may not want to smell you. With that, we'll go to the next spot. And that's it for the first edition of Scott's Friday 5 in 2025. Thanks again for tuning in. As always, if you have an idea or things you want to learn more about in town, or you represent or are part of a nonprofit or a business that you want to spotlight, don't hesitate to reach out. As we wrap up, we're here in front of Blake's Skating Pond, which has not really been as frozen as anybody would have liked to have seen it so far, but there's still time to get the cold temps to get a nice freeze out here. If you're interested in learning or knowing whether or not the pond is safe to be out and recreating on, check out the Yarmouth Community Services webpage. There they've got sort of an icon of red means it's closed, green means it's open. It's a great way to sort of quickly figure out whether or not you can get your skates on and skate around a little bit. So anyways, thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next week.